Have you ever noticed how everyone gets the exact same 24 hours in a day? Yet some people accomplish so much, while others barely get through the basics. It almost feels like those high achievers have extra hours hidden somewhere, right? Well, the truth is, they don't. The difference lies in one powerful skill: time management. In his book Time Management Magic, Lee Cockerell, former executive vice president of Disney World, reveals how managing time smartly can transform your life from just surviving to truly thriving. Not just living day to day, but creating a purposeful and meaningful life. Interestingly, Lee admits he wasn't born a time management expert. But as his responsibilities grew, he learned one crucial lesson. Backhand index pointing right: if you don't control your time will control you. And it was this principle that helped him successfully run an empire as massive as Disney. At its core, this book teaches us that time management isn't just about productivity, it's about life management. Think of it this way. If you commit just 30 minutes every day to reading, by the end of a year, you'll have finished around 25 to 30 books. Small, consistent steps can create life-changing results. The real magic of time management lies in breaking your day into simple systems and habits. And the best part? These principles don't just apply to your work. They help you balance your entire life: career, health, family, and relationships. So if you've ever felt like time is slipping away, this book is your guide to taking control and making every day count. Chapter 1. This is your life. Lee Cockerell begins this chapter with a powerful truth. Backhand index pointing right: your life is exactly what you do with it every single day. Think about that for a second. Your life isn't separate from your time. Your time is your life. Every wasted minute is actually a lost piece of your life you can never get back. That's why understanding the value of time is absolutely crucial. Lee reminds us that if you don't set your own priorities, the world will set them for you. And when that happens, you'll spend your whole day running around, responding to everyone else's demands, but achieving very little for yourself. Take this simple example. Backhand index pointing right: if the first thing you do in the morning is check emails or social media, your entire day gets consumed by other people's priorities. But if you start your morning with your most important task, the entire day becomes purposeful and productive. In this chapter, Lee highlights 3 powerful control points that shape your life. Keycap 1: what you choose to think. Keycap 2: what you choose to focus on. Keycap 3: where you choose to spend your time. These 3 decisions determine the direction of your life. And here's the key. The first step in time management is self-responsibility. Your success or failure doesn't come from luck or circumstances or the people around you. It comes from how you use your time. If your career feels stuck, it's not bad luck. It's a lack of focus and poor time management. Lee also emphasizes the power of small daily changes. White heavy checkmark: just 15 minutes of exercise a day can transform your health. White heavy checkmark: 20 minutes of reading can shift your mindset. White heavy checkmark: and 10 minutes of daily planning can literally double your productivity. The core lesson of this chapter is simple but life-changing. Backhand index pointing right: your life is in your control. Time is life. And if you learn to structure each day with clarity and priorities, your future can become extraordinary. Chapter 2. This is your time. This is your life. Lee Cockerell opens this chapter with a powerful reminder. Backhand index pointing right: if you don't control your time, someone else will. This simple truth decides the entire direction of our lives. Have you ever wondered why so much work remains unfinished, even though you've been busy all day? The reason isn't lack of effort. It's because most of us don't consciously plan our time. Instead, we live according to other people's expectations, endless demands, and constant distractions. Lee emphasizes one essential point: time is life. Wherever you spend your time, that's exactly what your life becomes. Think about it. Backhand index pointing right: if you waste hours on mobile notifications, unnecessary meetings, or endless scrolling, you're not just losing time. You're losing pieces of your life. But if you invest your hours into family, health, learning, and meaningful work, your life naturally takes that shape. Real-life example. Imagine someone spends 1 hour every morning just scrolling social media. They may think it's just entertainment, but in reality, that's 30 hours every single month wasted. Now flip the script. If that same hour was spent on exercise, reading, or a personal project, their productivity, health, an entire life could transform within a year. The first step toward using time wisely, Lee says, is ownership. You must accept, my time is my responsibility. Many people blame external circumstances or others for their failures. But the truth is, if you manage your time wisely, you can rise above almost any situation. The message of this chapter is crystal clear. Backhand index pointing right, take ownership of your time, because ultimately, taking charge of your time means taking charge of your life. Chapter 3, The Magic of a Daily Planner. In this chapter, Lee Cockerell introduces us to one of the simplest yet most powerful tools for productivity, the daily planner. He says, those who learn to manage their time on paper also learn to manage their life. A planner isn't just for jotting down meetings and appointments. It's a system that gives structure to your entire day, week, and even month. Here's the truth. If you don't have a written system, you'll always depend on your memory. And memory is weak. That's why important tasks slip through the cracks, stress builds up, and life feels unorganized. But when you use a planner, whether paper or digital, you unload your brain onto a system. This frees up your mind, giving you more focus, clarity, and creativity. Imagine you have 10 important tasks in a single day. If you keep them only in your head, you'll stay confused about what to do first. But if you write them down in a planner, prioritized and visible, you'll move step by step, and by the end of the day, you'll feel productive and satisfied. Lee emphasizes one crucial point. Backhand index pointing right, don't just use a planner. Make it a daily habit. Check it first thing in the morning and review it before going to bed. This one habit makes every day purposeful. Pushpin how to use a daily planner effectively. Write down your top 3 priorities each morning. Note down even small tasks so nothing gets forgotten. Use time blocking. Assign a specific slot for each activity. At the end of the day, review what's done and carry forward the rest. Lee himself used a simple daily planner to run something as massive and complex as Disney World. And he believed, if it worked there, it can transform anyone's personal and professional life. The magic of the planner isn't in the tool, it's in the habit of using it consistently. Chapter 4, Assigning the Right Priorities. Lee Cockerell reveals in this chapter that the real magic of time management begins when you learn how to set the right priorities. Most people are busy all the time, yet not truly productive. Why? Because they get caught up in small, urgent-looking tasks, while the truly important work, the work that drives growth, gets left behind. Lee makes it crystal clear. Backhand index pointing right, if everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. To solve this, he suggests dividing all tasks into 3 categories. Keycap 1 Vital tasks, the most important actions that directly impact your goals and long-term success. Keycap 2 Important but not urgent tasks, things like healthcare, building relationships, or learning new skills. They may not seem urgent now, but ignoring them comes at a huge cost later. Keycap 3 Low-value tasks, time wasters like constantly checking emails, endless social media scrolling, or gossip. These drain energy without giving much in return. Backhand index pointing right example. Suppose you have 2 options. Option A, work on a client proposal that could boost your company's revenue. Option B, reply to random emails and WhatsApp messages. If you choose option B, you may look busy, but you're moving away from real progress. The real priority is clearly option A. Lee also points out that setting priorities requires courageous decisions. Sometimes, you'll need to say no to people, step away from distractions, and focus your energy only on the tasks that truly matter. Pushpin tips for setting priorities. Every morning, ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today that will make the biggest difference in my life? Learn to separate the urgent from the important. Value your own goals more than others' expectations. Eliminate the small, meaningless tasks and double down on high-value activities. One manager used to spend most of his time stuck in endless meetings and emails, leaving no space for strategic planning. When he shifted his planner to prioritize strategic work first and moved minor tasks later, his team's productivity skyrocketed. The lesson is simple but powerful. Backhand index pointing right, don't confuse being busy with being productive. True growth comes from focusing on the right priorities. Chapter 5, Urgent, Vital, and Important. Lee Cockerell explains in this chapter one of the most practical lessons in time management. Backhand index pointing right success doesn't come from just being busy. It comes from knowing the difference between urgent, important, and vital tasks. Let's break it down. Keycap 1. Urgent versus important. Urgent tasks. These demand immediate action, usually triggered by others' needs or unexpected events. Backhand index pointing right example. A sudden meeting with your boss or a last-minute client call. Yes, they feel pressing, but most of the time they don't create long-term growth. Important tasks. These are the activities that actually move your life and career forward. Backhand index pointing right example. Learning a new skill, spending quality time with family, focusing on health and fitness. The problem? Important tasks usually aren't urgent, so people keep postponing them. Lee reminds us. Backhand index pointing right. Your time is your greatest asset. Don't spend it only on the urgent. Invest it in the important, too, the things that shape your future. Keycap 2. Vital tasks, the game changers. Vital tasks are those high-impact actions that, if ignored, can seriously harm your progress and goals. Backhand index pointing right example. Daily exercise, continuous learning, or working on your vision. These are usually important but not urgent, and that's why they're so easy to neglect. But in reality, these are the tasks that transform you from being just busy to being truly productive and successful. When Lee worked at Disney, he noticed something interesting. Many managers stayed trapped in urgent tasks, emails, calls, and small issues. But the managers who consistently focused on important, non-urgent projects were the ones who became respected leaders and achieved long-term success. Pushpin Lee's tip. At the start of each day, write down the 3 most important tasks you must complete. And make sure they are both important and vital. Because when you begin your day with the right priorities, you end your day with real progress. Chapter 6. Mom's Advice on Procrastination. Clean up your room. In this chapter, Lee Cockerell tackles one of the biggest enemies of productivity, procrastination. And he explains it in the simplest, most relatable way, through mom's advice. Remember when your mom used to say, backhand index pointing right, first clean your room, then go play. That, Lee says, is the golden rule of time management and responsibility. Procrastination happens when we avoid important work by doing something easier, like scrolling on social media, binge-watching TV, or handling small, meaningless tasks. So how do you beat it? Lee gives a simple formula. White heavy checkmark break big tasks into small, manageable steps. White heavy checkmark take immediate action instead of waiting for the perfect time. White heavy checkmark and always start your day with your most important task. When you do this, stress levels drop, and you feel steady progress instead of last-minute panic. Backhand index pointing right real-life example. At Disney, Lee noticed that managers who kept postponing their projects would always face chaos and pressure near deadlines. On the other hand, those who worked in small steps and started early completed their goals smoothly and with far more confidence. The core lesson of this chapter is clear. Backhand index pointing right procrastination is the biggest roadblock to growth and success. The cure? Take small steps, start now, and keep following through. Sometimes, the best life advice really does come from mom. Backhand index pointing right, first clean your room, then go play. It's the simplest, most practical reminder to stop delaying and start doing. Chapter 7. Attention and focus. Learn to concentrate. In this chapter, Lee Cockerell highlights one of the most crucial ingredients for real success in both work and life: focus. He explains that many of us fall into the trap of multitasking, trying to juggle too many things at once, or spreading our energy thin across multiple tasks. The result? Lower productivity, more mistakes, and the truly important work gets pushed aside. To make this point, Lee shares advice from his colleague Priscilla. Backhand index pointing right, pay attention. Whatever you're doing, do it with full awareness, focus, and zero distractions. At Disney, managers who gave their full attention during meetings or projects were the ones who made better, faster decisions. Their work had higher quality, and they earned respect. But the managers who kept checking emails or phones or worked half-heartedly ended up facing mistakes, delays, and unnecessary stress. Lee's advice is clear. Set your top priorities every day. Work on them with deep focus, free from distractions. Apply this not just to your career, but also to personal growth, family responsibilities, health, and fitness. Because focus isn't just about efficiency, it's about peace of mind, self-confidence, and living a balanced life. He also shares some practical strategies to strengthen focus. White heavy checkmark, create a distraction-free environment. White heavy checkmark, take short breaks to recharge. White heavy checkmark, practice micro-focus. Short bursts of complete attention that build your ability to concentrate for longer periods. The core message of this chapter is powerful. Backhand index pointing right, those who stay fully present in their work, control their attention, and eliminate distractions achieve true success, deep satisfaction, and personal growth. Those stuck in constant multitasking and shallow focus lose both productivity and happiness. The lesson is simple but life-changing. Backhand index pointing right focus is the foundation of your success and the true measure of your life's quality. Friends, in the last chapter of his book, Lee Cockerell gives us a simple but powerful reminder. Backhand index pointing right, all the strategies about time and productivity only work if we actually take action. He says, no matter how much knowledge, tools, or planning we have, if we don't apply them, they're worthless. Lee makes it clear. Sparkle's success doesn't come from fancy planners or perfect techniques. It comes from using them with discipline and consistency. That's why he challenges us to decide your top priorities every single day. Push away procrastination and distractions. Focus your energy on the important and vital tasks that truly move your life forward.